I'm very pleased to talk about this transition. Novo's moving from an exploration company to a producer. And as you know, we're quite busy. Look, we have people on site right now who are revamping the mill. We're doing some work to make sure that we're ready for production for the foreseeable future. So lots to talk about here. Disclaimer, this is part of our corporate website presentation, so you can access it there, read it at your leisure. All right, current share count, 213 million shares out. We have about 62 million in cash in the bank. A lot of that's coming from a recent placement as well as our senior secured debt facility. And a lot of that's going to be used, about 36 million Australian is going to be used for capitalizing our mine effort here. You can see our shareholder base. We got Kirkland Lake and Eric Sprott as our largest shareholders. And now we got IMC, which is the group from whom we bought the Millennium assets. IMC is a Singaporean firm. They're a private firm. We welcome them as our third largest shareholder. Mark Creasy remains a large shareholder. Mark actually helped me get the initial land package put together. And we actually purchased his residual component of joint venture in Beaton's Creek, as well as his remaining tenements across the Pilbara. So we're very happy to see him continue with us and support the company. All right, I'm going to talk about Nelligan first. Look, Nelligan's in the Northwest Pilbara region, or Northwest Australia, which is the Pilbara region. This is better known as iron ore country, but we're going to change that. We're going to show that the Pilbara is actually has a good foundation for becoming a significant gold producing region. The acquisition we undertook, we completed purchase of Millennium Minerals. Millennium was an ASX listed company, went into receivership last year. We bought them from IMC, who took them out of receivership a couple of months ago, and we now own the mill as well as their land tenure. The mill that they have is a gravity CIL mill. It's been operating at about 1.88 million ton per annum. Also included are all the other bells and whistles we need, the power station, laboratory, offices, etc. We have a 230 room camp, plenty of room for our crew. Okay, this fast tracks us to production, and that's really key. That's the critical part of this acquisition. Look, we looked at building our own mine and mill, but capitalizing that and the length of time to permit it seemed prohibitive. So this was an excellent opportunity for us. WA, as you know, is the best jurisdiction on the planet to operate. Yeah, I'm going to start talking about our land tenure here, 14,000 square kilometers across the Pilbara, but we're going to focus on Nelligan, which is where we're going into production. You can see by combining our Beaton's Creek project with this Millennium asset that we are now in a very good position to go into production at a substantial rate. We've got about 450,000 ounces each of indicated and inferred. Grades range from about 2 to 3 grams. I think once we're in production in a few months, we will be one of the highest grade open pit mines operating in Australia. The metallurgy of our rock is great. We get great gravity recovery, and cyanide dissolves the rest. So the conventional gravity CIL mill that Millennium has, ideally suited both in terms of size as well as its metallurgical characteristics for our mineralization. So once again, this is an excellent acquisition that puts us on the fast track. This map shows the consolidated land position we now have in the Nelligan camp. We effectively control 95% of all known gold prospects in the region. Beaton's Creek is just north of the town of Nelligan, and the mill is about 10 kilometers south. Easy trucking distance, about straight down the highway, basically. By consolidating this land, we really have an upper leg in terms of exploration potential and adding additional resource, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. Here's an aerial shot of the mill. Again, it's been operating at about 1.88 million ton per annum for the past 5 years. Gravity CIL plant. We have done lots of metallurgy on our rock. We know that we can get very good recoveries through this mill, both of our oxide and fresh material. We do expect higher gravity recovery, so we're adding a beefier gravity circuit to the mill to capture the coarse gold. We're also relining tanks, doing a lot of that basic work right now to make sure this thing's in operation for the next few years. Okay, an aerial shot. Here we got our processing facility and so forth on the right. We've got the tailings area in the back on the left. Plenty of room in the tailings storage facility. We got several years capacity there. 230 room camp, excellent. For us, it's plenty big enough for our operation. Beaton's Creek is just off the image to the left. We're looking eastward in this picture. Beaton's Creek, as you know, is an unusual system. Conglomerate gold. These are beds of conglomerate. Across the property, there's anywhere from 2 to 6 of these things stacked one on top of the other. We're going to mine these in basically, we'll call it inverted pits. These sit on the tops of hills and ridges. They're flat lying. They're comprised of boulders, and the gold occurs as particulate gold in the matrix of the conglomerate. We did a test mine of this a couple of years back. During the test mining, we were able to strip and then mine the material, the oxide fraction, without any drilling and blasting. It was free dig. This is ideal. This is what we're going to start on, and it really puts us in a really good position to mine this thing aggressively. You can see that the exercise here, we were able to isolate the bed of conglomerate, the targeted unit, and mine it very effectively. You can see the dark red versus the bright white of the footwall. We were able to selectively mine it very, very efficiently. Here's an aerial shot of Beaton's Creek. It's about 2 kilometers in diameter, where we're going to start. The town of Nelligan is down here in the lower right, and the mill's just off the lower right corner. This area out here, we expect to expand. In fact, we put out news a couple of days ago. We think we can grow our resources out in this area. And by consolidating the Creasy joint venture, that puts us in an excellent position to now expand our resource base. Again, a resource stands at 450,000 ounces each of indicated and inferred. Grades range 2 to 3 grams per ton. Rob, who joined the company 3 years ago, I picked him because I knew he could build a good team, and he's done that. He's brought on Chris Martin and Brad Woodland very recently. But we also have in-house, we have an engineer, Don Frost, Chris Gotti, environmentalist, a scientist, and Kaz DeLuca, our exploration manager. So we have basically one of the best teams operating in Australia. Very unusual for a Canadian company like ourselves. Now I'm going to talk about the potential of this asset. Look, Beaton's Creek is going to grow. We're going to add resources as we explore outboard from the projected pits here. We're going to explore down dip as well. I wouldn't be surprised if in 5 years from now we're talking about underground mining of these reefs. These conglomerate systems go on and on and on. So we see growth right here at Beaton's Creek. I think we could probably, increase the resources 50 to 100% very quickly. But we have more. In the East Pilbara, we have lots of exploration potential. We have all these projects, including Tauga, high-grade orogenic system. We think we can advance that very quickly and bring that into the production stream at Nelligan down here. Contact Creek and Virgin Creek are very similar to Beaton's Creek. They're big conglomerate systems. Again, lots of potential there, perhaps multi-million ounces. So this circle you see here is really going to form a producing basis for Novo for the foreseeable future. But I'm going to talk a little bit more because I think we can unlock our other assets out here. So in the West Pilbara, you can see the Karatha project. Look, conglomerates, very much like Beaton's Creek, but one big difference. These conglomerate layers, they're flat, they're continuous. We've drilled them for 4 kilometer strike. We know that we can grab these in an open pit. The catch is the gold is very coarse. Coarse gold's hard to sample, hard to define. We know the grades range from about 1 to 6 grams from our bulk sampling exercise a couple years back. But what's really going to make the difference here is mechanical sorting. Look, we're about to embark on mechanical sorting test work. We did purchase a machine. In fact, I got word overnight they completed the machine and it's getting packed up to ship to Australia right now. These machines, they can see rock particle that has gold nugget embedded. You can see the X-ray image in the lower right. They're able to pick out those rocks from the stream of waste rock and in effect produce a very low mass concentrate that captures most of the gold. That's something you can ship over to Nelligan. So all of a sudden we have a path forward for Karatha where we can get the thing into production on the back of Nelligan. Egina. Okay, this is a wonderful property. All this area here has been eroded away. All these conglomerates that had gold have been washed down onto the terrace flats down here. We have a deposit that's extraordinary. It's a sheet of gravel that mantles the surface here. It goes on for many, many tens of square kilometers. What is this? This is basically a pre-mill. Mother Nature milled the conglomerates and distributed the gold across that terrace. We collect gold like this out of our bulk samples. Okay, it's very coarse gold. We know that it's free milling, free recovery. We envision continuously mining this material. Give you a sense of grades. Look, the lowest grades we have are actually better than most alluvial deposits on the planet. So we have an at-surface deposit of gravel, 1 to 2 meters thick, with exceptional grade that is comparable to any alluvial system on the planet, if not much, much better. So we think we have something we can mine in a continuous fashion for the foreseeable future. Here you can see some of the bulk sampling we're doing. We're identifying big channels, swales, as we call them, where we know there's high concentrations of gold. We're then doing systematic panel sampling with bulk sampling of the gravel horizon. We're identifying areas we can go mine. This is the edge of the mining lease. Give you a sense of scale. Look, that's the edge of the mining lease. This is paradise. Look, this is a 170 square kilometer target area that we're just starting with. All that red stuff, that's gravel that we think we can mine. This is an amazing target that should have a very good future for many years to come. So once again, production in the East Pilbara. We're going to pull in the West Pilbara on the back of that and then make Egina a new standalone opportunity. And with that, I'll end the presentation. Our contact, Leo Carabellis, and myself, we're always happy to answer questions.